All right, welcome back to part 2 of the Matthew Sorenson Disc Golf Tournament Round 1 at Dalby Park. We got Shad Green sitting at 2 under par. He's been having a little trouble getting his putter going this round, but hopefully he'll be able to turn that around. We got Gabe Fischer at 5 down, which he put a lot of work into running this tournament. It's hard to actually play well at a tournament when you're spending all your time helping run it. Peter at 6 down, just one off of Gabe. He's been playing a pretty good front 9.
Yeah, Peter went on that 5-hole burner.
Yeah. Then we got James sitting at 3 over par, trying to fight his way back to even. Starting the back 9 on another island hole. 203 feet, so shouldn't pose too much of an issue to these guys. They all should have that pretty well. Gabe trying to quick throw us there.
For the right-hand backhand, it's way open on this hole. The island is put in just to make this hole a little bit harder for these open players.
Yeah, it would be way too easy otherwise. Even Peter's throwing the backhand, so that shows you that that's the dominant shot shape there.
Funny story about this hole is Gabe set up this island before I got to town the day before the tournament, and this island was about 5 feet around the basket.
You're like, I don't know about that.
Oh, dude, for our rec players, we gotta make this island about 10 times bigger.
Oh, nice long putt from Gabe there. Start the back 9 with another bird. Got James. Little inside the circle, probably. Oh, just a little wide right. James almost landed on Peter's disc, so pretty much the same putt. Oh, that's not fair. That tangled up in the chains right and just fell back over the rim.
Yeah, I think those rings on that chains kind of had something to do with that spit out.
That's what I call getting ringed, and yeah, I think you're right. It just kind of pops the disc back up off of that ring. Alright, James for his par. Nice save. Almost a little low there, but snuck it over the rim. So Shad and Gabe get the birdie there, and Peter should have. That putt was in all day. That's unfortunate. So hole 11. That row of trees kind of takes that OB out of play a little bit, but I could definitely see you still getting through there if you're not careful and finding that out of bounds.
Yeah, between those trees you can get a skip, and it does come into play a little bit.
Gabe throwing the backhand on it. A little deep. Shad going standstill. Oh. He might have a look. I'm not sure how those branches are leaning out in his way, but he might be able to lean out and get a look at that.
He is very close, but it might be obstructed.
And Peter's a little short. He might have left that tree short of it in his way. Actually, might be the same tree in just a different part of it. Yeah, and James looks like he got blocked by the tree a little too. Yeah, Peter trying to kind of punch through those branches, it looked like.
231 feet, wide open right-hand hyzer shot, backhand shot. So, I mean, you could see all these guys, a little bit of trees. Maybe the wind came into play on this hole, but all these guys are going to... Oh, yeah, they're all going to get a par.
Yeah, he had to get a little... Looked like 3 of the 4 of them were just blocked by the tree. Gabe just got his a little bit high. So yeah, they'll end up walking away with their pars though. Yeah. Par frame for sure. Gabe and Peter tied. Shad 3 back of them, so still fairly tight. Shad hasn't fallen off too bad. This one was an interesting one.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely the longest hole on the course. It's also has trees right in front of the tee boxes that have grown quite a bit into the play, and so those affect the shot a lot. But 394 feet going down with a tree kind of in front of you that you got to throw around, makes it a really demanding hole.
Well, on that left side of it that Shad just threw through, you have a couple trees in the way. You might be able to get more distance with the flex, which looks like he found the out of bounds there. But this hyzer way seems like you're kind of resigning yourself to a 3 at best unless you have a 400-foot hyzer.
Yeah, even open players, it's a real demanding hard shot to get all the way up there with that hyzer shot. I would say brings in, you got to have 450, 500-foot power just to get all the way up there.
Yeah. Whereas that left side, James was fairly lucky not to have hyzered out too early because he could have found the road OB real easy. Peter left that upshot a little short.
Yeah, you could see Gabe, the local, he's still got, probably over 100 feet on this upshot for a 390-foot hole. I'm sure he throws that far.
Oh, yeah, I've seen Gabe throw
not obstructed line.
Yeah, I know he's got around 400 feet of power, but when you have to do it on all hyzer, that makes it, like you said, more like 450, if not more.
Yeah, and I don't think the wind today was also helping them get to the basket. So
no, I think it might have actually been hurting a little bit. If I remember right, it seemed like it was kind of a left to right wind for him on this hole.
This hole very easily could have been a par 4.
Right.
Just with some of those easier holes, we just decided to keep everything on this course a par 3.
Well, and on this hole we had 2 4s. One with Shad going OB and Peter just missing that putt earlier. Now that he made the actual 4, but yeah. So a couple pars, couple bogeys on that one, which long, difficult hole. You've been playing short holes all day too, so nobody's really used to breaking out their driver and letting it rip so far today. So hole 13 here. There's a Mando here. I've heard this one called the eye hole.
Yep.
Because there's a eye shape that they have to throw through. And if you don't make it, you move up to right in front of it and throw it through it.
Yeah, I know that Tom Jacobs was part of the reason that we have this hole, and I think it came from another course. I'm not sure if it was in Bismarck or Mandan or somewhere pretty far away, but they actually brought this from another course and installed it on this course.
Which otherwise this would be a fairly easy hole, so I kind of get it.
Well, and those trees over the past 10 years have really gotten so much bigger.
Yeah, I bet when they first put it in, that was a wide open gap. Shad left his a little short just off the left. He just has not been able to get his putt going so far. Gabe for another birdie there. For a 212-foot, pretty open hole. You would expect star frame pretty much every time.
Yeah, that Mando just makes it hard.
Yeah, well, you almost have to throw planning on a skip because the top of the hill is almost level with the top of that eye.
It is demanding, and when I throw the hole, I try to bend down and get as low as I can when I throw it to try to diminish that angle as much as I can.
That makes sense. So Shad the only par on the hole. James fighting his way back down to even. Gabe with a 1-stroke lead over Peter. So, got a good fight going on here. This was an intimidating hole. 349 feet. And you're in that little corner back there where you almost feel like you have to throw it along the fence line with an ante because of the way the OB is set up. Gabe looks like he's playing it kind of safe. Heiser out to the left. Playing it for a par, it seems.
Yep.
Which you can see the OB lines are kind of following the tall weeds, so it's definitely a possibility of find an OB if you try and get too greedy here.
Yep, James just went right over where you could see the OB is.
Yeah.
For these open players, if that OB wasn't in play, they have the power that they would just crash over those Russian olive trees there. And even if they hit those trees, they'd still be within circle one right there on the left.
Yeah, maybe leaning out of those trees a little bit.
So we considered that when we designed this OB on this hole.
Which looks like Shad's going that route anyway. Ooh, and that, yep, that'll work. He got a little lucky.
And the reward.
Yeah, exactly. He got a little lucky. It kicked him the right way. Oh, and Gabe. Looks like he stayed safe, though. They had to have a little discussion about it and looked at the way they had it written in the rules, but he was deemed safe by the card. So he'll take his 3.
That's one of those.
Peter for his birdie. Shad will drop in his birdie. That was a great drive. So again, 3 birdies and a par, tied it back up. Gabe and Peter are starting to kind of distance themselves from Shad a little bit, but there's a lot of OB out here, so anything could happen still. Hole 15 here, I mean, you let it hyzer out. That road is actually further away than it looks on the map here, though. It's in play, but less so than it appears from that map.
Yeah, I would say probably at least 50 feet.
Yeah. Which you can see there, it could definitely come into play, though.
Especially in that Gillette wind.
Right? Peter throwing the sidearm again. That was a great shot. Shad yanking it over. Looks like those guys weren't teeing off yet, though, so it's all good. This one was kind of uphill, so it says it's 274, but it played a bit longer than that. Plus, you kind of had to have that flex, that ante line. Okay, that didn't roll too bad. The way it kicked off the basket, I was worried that was taken off on him.
Nice 2 for James.
Yeah, that was a great putt.
I wouldn't say this is a bonus birdie, but I'd say you do feel really good about getting a birdie on this hole with kind of the demand that it takes off the tee and that OB and that extra perceived distance that Dale's talking about.
Yeah, I would agree. It's definitely gettable, but it's one of the more difficult ones. It doesn't really seem like it, but it really is. So again, 3 birdies and a par. Seems like they're trading off who gets the par. Peter and Gabe keeping it tight, though, there. So hole 16 here. You only have that one big tree in play, but you have the OB right by the basket. That means you really have to play the shot right.
Yeah, it makes it demanding for right-hand players and right-hand backhand and right-hand forehand.
Alright, that's turning in. Okay, and he stays safe. You can see how difficult that tee shot really is right there. I mean, if he'd have played it any tighter, he'd have probably hit that tree.
And being kind of out in this field more than it is in the irrigation park, the discs will skip a little bit more out here than they were on the front nine.
Ah. Yeah, the ground looks a lot drier. I could see that. Oh. Okay, go on.
Oh, man.
Oh, that goes from really scary to really good.
Yeah, that barely got back in bounds. But yeah, the grass being mowed out here, that's just a testament and a thank you to the people from the city of Gillette for helping support this tournament and making sure that this event can be as good as it is. Oh, man.
Yeah, the course is looking great. I mean, it's mowed beautifully. They did a great job with this course. It's a beautiful course. It's another nice birdie from James. See if Peter can save his par. He went out pretty close, so yeah, that was no problem for him. Gabe for the birdie. This is not one where we're getting 3 birdies and a par. I think we flipped that actually. Yeah, that was another fairly long hole though, 363. And you, again, have to play it on all hyzer, whether it's sidearm or backhand. You had to hyzer around that tree. So, Gabe taking a 1-stroke lead over Peter now. So we got hole 17, 318 feet. You can see again OB pretty close behind it.
Yep, you just can't find yourself going long on this hole because it's pretty open otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, you just don't want to overthrow it and you'll be fine. Which I bet leads to this a lot, where you just leave it a little short, not wanting to push too far.
Well, and by where that Donkey Creek goes through the course, that grass is very thick and it is hard to find discs in there sometimes.
Oh, I bet. It was a great shot from Gabe. Looks like Peter might have let that one out a little early. Yeah, he's gonna, I don't know, maybe circle's edge over there. Not too far out, but gonna have a longer look. Shad had that one on pretty good hyzer the whole way. And again, left it a little short, which I bet is pretty common on this hole. You can see how thick that grass is you were talking about back there. You don't want to end up back there.
It kind of gets trampled down, and yeah.
And that can be worse. You got it sliding under that grass laying down. He has been all over the basket the whole round and just not getting anywhere with it. Oh, stop. I think the OB is a little further back than that, right? That wasn't actually in the OB, I don't believe.
Yeah, I think that the OB is the crick.
The actual crick on this one, okay. So Gabe with the nice birdie again there. Peter will take the par. See if James can clean this one up. That was a little high, but in is good. Shad looking a little defeated.
That's why hitting the basket that many times might make you feel like.
Yeah, he has been all over it. Just a little high, a little low, little one side or the other. They're just not connecting.
Still putting together a good round, but when it feels like a birdie or die course, you got to be scoring.
When you got Gabe at 10 under and he's at 3, that's got to feel a little discouraging. So hole 18 here, that OB on the left is really close. And that OB on the right is actually pretty close. This is an intimidating hole because, again, you go too far left, that disc is probably gone. I actually lost one over in the left area, but on the other hole going that way on the other side.
Well, that was a great shot by Gabe. This hole is demanding. The farther up you go, the tighter it seems to get. So,
yeah, I like that one. He just skips it right up there. Oh, and that one just barely too far left. The sidearm would be intimidating to me. Just all those trees. Yeah, those trees. And that means he's pretty far back there for his next throw. I don't know if I could throw it after watching that happen. I think I'd have to change my shot up if I was going to do that.
Ooh,
but that was a great line. Great throw. Yeah, he's pretty far back here for his third throw now. Oh. Oh, no. And that's even a fairly long look towards a kind of death putt.
Yeah, you could see the OB is right there.
Yeah.
You know. And Peter was putting together a great round, but this course can get you any hole.
Even Shad's, that'd be kind of a scary putt. I could see why he kind of left that one a little low. I mean, that's a scary putt. You can see Gabe was probably right near the OB line. Another great birdie for him, though. Oh, and that's a hard 6 to take when he had been chasing Gabe down, fighting with him the whole way. James with a bogey. Shad'll take a par. Yeah, that'll finish up this round, but man, that last hole really got Peter. He was fighting for it too. Great finish by Gabe though. 4 birdies in a row to finish. Yeah.
We'll see you for round 2.